Alright, we are finally back at the auctions. And I thought I'd start off this video just by showing you guys what the car market is like currently. If I turn this camera around, so this lot you've always been full with cars. If you have a look now, we have got empty space. The entire corner at the back there, this entire row, no cars. Which is really odd to see. Like I said in previous videos, normally you're looking at anywhere from 300 to 400 cars every week being sold. And yeah, it's now like 80 or 90, so it's drastically come down, but we're here, we got a couple of cars to look at. Another thing that we're also noticing is almost every car has a reserve now. So majority of the time last time, or times before we bought cars, a lot of them have been no reserve. Whatever they get to is what they sell for. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So I don't think as many people are bidding either. So the cars that are up for sale tend not to sell, which is quite unfortunate. But anyway, without any further ado, we'll move on to the first car. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can pick this one up. Alright, so first up we have got this Hyundai of some description, i30 or 20. So yes, i30, nothing too spectacular, but if you can get it cheap, it's a good, reliable car that can get you from A to B, which at the moment, unfortunately, seems to be the car market. Now, the photos look good in the ad, but I'm very glad that we've come to actually look at the car, because you can see here on the bonnet, got this giant spot. Something's happened to the paint there. Just a lot of dirt. On the side here we've got, probably saw in the cinematic footage, just some spots where the paint's come completely off. We've got trim that's turning chrome, but apart from that, very dirty. We're missing the top of the antenna. It's now a home for some spiders, we'll see. It's got some battery. Also just noticed got a couple little dents, so it's well used. All right, inside seems to be quite clean. I guess the wipers sticking up, bog standard. This is a manual. Run empty. Copyright music off. Starts right up, which is good. AC works. The radios we found out works. Seems to be pretty good. I just noticed, just turning the steering wheel, sounds like something's not happy in this steering wheel. It feels like as you turn it, it's like clicking. It'd be interesting to see if these have an electronic rack, because if it's mechanical, that's not enough movement to click over the teeth and the steering rack. So potential, or it could just be the rack not secured properly. Pop the hood, but the AC is good. It runs perfect. Looks fine. Just having a look, it definitely looks like we've got a electronic steering rack. So as you're probably going to realize in the theme of this episode, we're not looking for anything too crazy, any hectic, crazy cars, because they're just not selling. We've had friends with C63s, other things that people just don't have the money for at the moment. and are finding quite a hard time to sell it. So we are looking at budget, A to B, first car, second car, that kind of thing, just cheap, reliable transport, because unfortunately that's what's selling. So as much as I'd love to go look at some other stuff which aren't even at the auctions, although there is a GTR, yeah, we're just going to play it a little bit safe and see how the rest of the year pans out. But this isn't too bad. We'd have to have a look at the steering rack. Yeah, I think it's an electronic rack or something like that, so it'd just be a matter of looking at that, Googling. It might be a common problem, something like that, but for the most part it all seems to do fine. We'll see if it actually turns the wheels. Yeah, so it does turn the wheels, it just has a nice little click to it. But yes, that's our first of many. And not too bad. It's got paint imperfections, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, on to the next one. Alright, we have got our next potential buy. Now, I've actually bid on this car already, but like I said earlier, a lot of cars have reserves. So we have got a 2018 Mitsubishi Triton. So right off the bat, just like all the other cars here at the auctions, this one is filthy. I have just noticed we've got a massive chunk taken out, which is taken off the top coat of the black. Apart from that, I haven't seen anything else seems to be of any concern. I do definitely like the colour with the black wheels and the blacked out everything else. We've got two little dents here and a bit of a scuff there. We got battery, folding mirrors. Okay, we've done 111,000 kilometers. This is manual, push button start. Unlike Morgan, we'll let everything wake up. Started up nice and healthy. Got a big infotainment system. We do have a CB radio, or I assume that's what the antenna's for. Yeah, all in all, it seems to be quite good. Does the AC work? Yep, that definitely works. Wow, that's very good. I'll turn that down. It is selective four-wheel drive, so see if we flash in there. We got 4 low. Cool. 4 low engages, which is good. So that is good. You've got whatever I think that's the diff locks. You've got some white button there, USB. You got HDMI. That's weird. Yeah, all seems really good. Again, I have actually bid on this one before. And yeah, it just had too high of a reserve. I think that's a growing thing, as people have got their cars listed for COVID prices. They don't sell, they go, oh, whatever, we'll just sell it through the auction, put in the reserve of what they wanted to sell the car for privately. And obviously when you're selling at the auction, you are not going to get private prices, or you generally don't get private prices. So then they just don't sell. So this is up for its second time. But yeah, fingers crossed, maybe he lowered the reserve, hopefully. I think I bid up to 23 or 24,000. With auction fees, you'd be about 25. And from what I could see, they're selling anywhere from like 29 to like 32. So a little bit of room there for some profit. But yeah, it didn't meet the reserve, and unfortunately, Greys have changed the way they show the reserve, so you no longer know how close you are to the reserve, or if it's close to selling. So for all we know, this guy put in a reserve for 40 grand, which it's not worth. But yeah. So anyway, this one I feel a lot more better about than the Hyundai. It's a bit more money, but it's still in that kind of 30 grand range, whereas I felt like with the D-Max, selling a car at 40 plus, it's becoming, you know, a lot of money. It's a lot of people's down payments on houses. So I think we found our ceiling on where it's harder to sell cars. So I think anything below 40 we should be sweet with, maybe even at that 30 range. But yeah, anything above, we need to expect that it's going to take a little bit longer to sell. And that's why we're just trying to get a few more cheaper cars in, build up our budget, so then that way if we do, you know, have a car like the D-Max, it's worth a bit more, we can let it sit and sell for a bit and we still have money to play with to go flip other cars. But yeah, this one's been pretty solid. Yeah, we'll see what the next one's like. Alright, lastly we have this 2013, I believe, Toyota Hilux.
You respray that, strip it back and respray it?
Oh, there's a lot of pitting, so you'd have to sand the whole thing flat, prime it, paint it, clear it, yeah. So you ever get those people that like just keep talking and talking and talking, and you really like just wanting to look at this car, but you want to be polite, you want to mug them off. But anyway, we can finally look at the car. You've had a quick little look. It's got a nice, real clean tray. Unfortunately, the hood seems to have quite some bad problems. I have no idea how that has happened, because it's not sun damage. It's like actual scoring and like almost like it's been sandblasted with a really abrasive finish. But then the roof's also got it. The sides and the front don't. So if you thought it would have been, say, on a beach somewhere just throwing sand up, no, the front's fine. So that's a bit weird. The roof, well, the bonnet's not too hard. You can always just get another bonnet or sand it back, paint it. My only concern is because it's such deep, like, scoring in, the whole thing nearly needs to be, yeah, bogged and painted. See how she goes. Alright, starts right up. We have got no warning lights, aircon, this little thing doesn't work anymore, nice and cold. We got a head unit, that's all good. We've got something down here, I have no idea. Ridge Rider. I'm assuming it's something four-wheel drive related. I am not in the four-wheel drive world, so I have no clue, but I'm sure some of you guys all know exactly what that is. Yeah, it'll just be the bonnet. I'll make you guys out because it runs great. You can see in here, it's almost looks like it's got a fiberglass finish to it. It's just that pitted and scuffed up. Yeah. Whereas if you look at the front, mostly stainless steel anyway, but this is all nice and smooth. But yeah, it's just up in here where it gets really bad, and unfortunately on the roof as well, it's got the same similar kind of thing. So that might be a pass on this one, just because, yeah, bodywork is not my forte. But apart from that, runs great. It's only done 180,000 Ks. I love the colour, really good. But yes. So let us know down below, what should we be picking up? The Hyundai i30, which seemed like quite a safe bet. We just have to have a look at that steering rack and a couple little blemishes with the paint. The Triton, ideally that'd be the one that I could get, just because it seems the most solid. There's barely any cosmetic problems at all, just that wing mirror. And then obviously the Toyota Hilux, we just had a look. So let us know down below what we should get, because it is slim pickings out here at the moment, which is not good for us. But if you haven't already, hit that like button, comment below what we should get, and obviously subscribe to stay up to date with all things Lemon to Lambo.